Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. The feature race at Aqueduct on Saturday, the $100,000 La Verdad Stakes for New York-bred fillies and mares going 7 furlongs. You can bet the La Verdad and the entire Big A card on Saturday with a DRF Bets account. Easy sign up at bets.drf.com, plus you receive a 300% deposit match. Let's meet this field. Again, fillies and mares running for $100,000. Mike, let's talk about Chad Brown's entrant in this race. The number 7, Sunset Ridge, beaten favorite last time out at 1-2. Although I guess that was an okay field. Jump Ruler came back and ran second with an 82 Beyer speed figure. I do like this mare's tactical speed, and I think most of all, I like her cutting back to 7.
I like that too. I mean, Chad's got 2 in here. They both, sort of sport similar profiles. They started out their careers like they could just sort of be anything. They both missed a ton of time, and now they've both come back with 2 starts this year. I feel like Chad's other horse, Catherine the Rise, has maybe run better in her 2 starts, but I think Sunset Ridge, if nothing else, I like her getting back to sprinting. They only sprinted her twice so far in her career. To me, personally, they're the 2 best races that she's run sprinting. I'm not so sure. I didn't think she ran great last time, especially considering she was 1-2. But I like her cutting back a little bit in this race. I'm not going to be surprised if she steps forward.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the turn back, her tactical speed, the fact that there might be a little bit of pace to set her up, she should be in a good position when the real running begins. She's never been off the board from 6 lifetime starts. And her first start of the long layoff, she was in against Satisfy, who you see we expect to be scratched. Dave Grenning on DRF Plus has reported that in the race advance. Satisfy was odds on that day.
Yeah.
Sunset Ridge was coming off the long layoff. She ran well. Maybe she came back too quick last time out. But again, you're right. At 1-2, she probably should have done better. Let's talk about Catherine the Wise, and in doing so, we should talk about the Timeform US pace projector, because Catherine the Wise's best game is on the lead. Timeform US has her clear after the opening quarter mile. Last time out, she made the lead. I thought she got a pretty easy pace that day, and she was second best. That being said, when you get her on the track in back-to-back races, it's a rarity. In fact, it's never happened before, and she must be feeling good.
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. I mean, it was nice to see her step forward a little bit last time, too. Second off that long layoff. You're right, though. I mean, right to the front in that race. And I just felt like just able to sort of rate control that pace all the way around. Now, she was no match in the stretch in that race. I'm not going to be too hard on her for that, though, because the horse that won the race, Dawn the Destroyer, to me was really impressive in there. So I really feel like she ran okay last time. And I feel like if she runs that race back, she's probably pretty tough in here.
Sitting up close on the pace projectors, the number 6, Palladian Bridge, and boy, is she a salty veteran. She is seeking her 10th lifetime win. She's banked over $400,000 in her career, and she was the runner-up in this race last year. You can argue maybe even a better version of the La Verdad. That Kazan was really in sharp form at that point in time. Palladian Bridge last time out, though, no match for Catherine the Wise that day, and it looked like she had a fair shot at that horse on the backstretch.
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. I mean, she did her best in that race, too. I thought she was game to be third, but it was a pretty distant third in there. She never was able to materialize as a real threat in that race. It just feels like she's a solid horse, Dan, as you mentioned, wins a lot. These races are a little tough for her.
Let's talk about a horse near the back of the pack, the number 1, Out of Orbit, going out for Phil Serpy. Winner 2 starts back over Sloppy going. We're expecting some wet weather in New York over the weekend. Last time out, though, it looked like Eric Cancel was riding her with such confidence when he took over from the outside, turning into the stretch. And I guess you could say she was game to be second in between, but I was disappointed that she didn't seal the deal. Another horse turning back should benefit her, and I guess the third-place finisher's subsequent stakes place performance flatters the effort somewhat.
I guess it does. We'll see what happens. I mean, I guess turning back to the 7 could theoretically work for her, although it's not like her races at a mile or any worse than the sprint races she's run. To me, she's just a horse. She's pretty good, and she can get a good trip in this race, but I just wonder if her best race makes her good enough in a field like this.
Formulator fact for the 5, Playing with the Boys. Third start of the form cycle for Charlie Baker, coming off a rallying win last time out in a non-winners of 2 open race. Baker, over the past 4 years, older last out winners in dirt sprints, making the third start off the layoff. 45% winners, 15 of 20 have hit the board, a $3.29 ROI. And this horse ran quite well, I thought, in that critical eye against some really nice New York breds, Holiday Disguise and Highway Star 3 back. She was in really good form before the layoff, and maybe she's slowly rounding back into that form.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. She ran against a couple of these horses off that long layoff, so there's already an excuse for her in that race. It's probably probably the worst race she's ever run. She also didn't break great in that race. She had, all kinds of excuses for the race 2 starts back. Last time, I thought it was a really game win. The horse she ran down, Short Cakes, just sort of was on a mission in there, went a pretty fast pace. This horse kept herself in it and then closed her down at the end. A nice performance. She has to run better than that against this field, but she's capable of doing it. You can just look at any of her races last year before that layoff. They put her close to these horses.
Silly Sister's 20-1. There are worse 20-1 shots than Silly Sister, because I think you can make an argument she's taking a fairly substantial class drop. That Pumpkin Pie was full of nice open horses. Both Sour and the runner-up Tecalita have come back to earn stereo 90 buyers speed figures. It's just that Silly Sister isn't fast on paper.
Yeah, she hasn't run a race that really puts her in the mix here. I thought her race 2 back when they stretched her out at Finger Lakes, I thought that's a deceptively good race. Fast early and slow late. She was right on the lead. And they cut her back last time. I'm with you. Too tough a field for her last time, but I still don't see the race that makes her a real contender in the end.
Trainer Gary Contessa found the cure for Starlight Mission's second itis last time out, getting a win after 3 times second, 7 times second going into that race from only 14 lifetime starts. Now stepping way up, though, from the non-winners of one other than to these this state-bred stakes ranks. Again, a very consistent horse, probably best played underneath. I think this might be just a little too tough.
I think it's probably too tough, too. They could take her back in this race and just let her make one run through the stretch and try and pick up some pieces. She's been effective being ridden like that before. I like that she got the win last time, Dan. I don't like the performance of the horse she beat coming back last week, and it just ran a terrible race.
Our top 2 picks are coming out of the same race. They ran 1-2 in an open, non-winners of one other than Allowance at the Big A on December the 8th. Your top pick, the 10, Pause for the Cause, won that race coming from off the pace, moves from inside to out, but boy, Kieran McLaughlin's just figured this horse out. She's won 3 out of her last 4 races, and give her some pace. She'll come with just a good, honest run. She's paired up by her tops in her last 2, and let's be honest, if she moves forward a little bit, she's going to win.
Yeah, she doesn't even really have to if she just runs one of those races, unless one of Chad's, I guess, could just sort of explode in here, but it just feels like those races make her tough. I just like her, Dan. It didn't work out for her early on. She won her debut. They bet her first time out. This was way back as a 2-year-old. They bet her, and she won, and after that, she just really struggled, but she kept running well under a variety of circumstances. They'd go long, they tried turf, and she would always run, but she wouldn't win. I think those 2 off the turf races over the summer sort of got her confidence up. She crushed both of those fields, and she's run well in both of her last 2 starts, I think. And I just love that she gets to the outside, Dan. She had the rail both times in her last 2 starts. She didn't break great in either of those races. I think getting to the outside could really help this horse.
I'm hoping that by Self, the 8, can turn the tables on Pause for the Cause. Last time out was her first start for Michelle Nevin, and she was sort of down inside. I thought she was really being conservatively handled, got shuffled back a bit at about the 3/8 pole, in behind horses in upper stretch. Didn't really get truly clear, I didn't think, until very late, and then came with an okay run. I think now she's been in Nevin's barn. It's going to be her second start of the form cycle. She and Pause for the Cause have similar running styles. I think if she can improve just a little bit, and I wonder if she has a little bit more upside, being a fairly lightly raced, this will be her first start as a 4-year-old. I wonder if in her 8th lifetime start she can take a forward move. I thought maybe if things were different, she would have made it closer.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that stuff. I thought she ran well. I thought that trip she got last time was good, right up until the top of the stretch, and then she just got into a little bit of traffic. She had to alter off the inside very late in the game. But I thought she ran well. I did think it was a step forward, first time for Nevin. Not that she had run any bad races on the dirt before that. I mean, she's run nothing but good races. This filly's pretty good, and I'm with you. I think she has more upside than some of the others in here.
Mike's going to go with the 10, Pause for the Cause. 10, 8, 3, and 7. I'm going with the 8 by Self, 8, 3, 10, 7 in the Las Verdad Stakes, the feature at Aqueduct on Saturday. Make sure you get down with a DRF Bets account and the 300% deposit match that goes along with it. Sign up at bets.drf.com. Approximate post time for the Las Verdad, 3:59 Eastern. Good luck.